Hey guys, and welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor, episode 50. If you're just joining
like
us
that.
for the first time,
He was so
you're not
close
going
to
to know
being
what's going
completely
on
wrong.
You're not going to know what's going on this session because I'm not going to recap it much because we go a month and I try to recap so people understand it does nothing. So we're glad to be back. We know there's really nobody there but us. So for our edification, I will recap and say, guys, the last time we played, you all entered the cauldron and entered the quixotic lock. Okay? Cool, you remember that?
I remember
If
that.
you don't remember that, all right, good. All right, so you entered the quixotic lock, and you find yourself in the biting barge where you were brought on board via nets or be sneaking aboard with your good friend Aino and the new Mako twins that you made good friends with. I'm talking specifically about SETI. And as you guys made your way on board, after a quick skirmish with the captain, Grinrose Bloodkin, you found yourselves immediately welcomed on board, with the exception of the other half of your traveling troupe, the virtues of the Sea-Sworn Temple, who were not welcomed and are going to be dropped off in the next morning at the Gap, a built section on the crescent-shaped island of the Quixotic Lock. And you guys were welcome to stay on the biting barge or depart. At the end of the last session, you guys spent some time sending out some messages, some of which were replied to, some of which were not.
The one that was not was Lady Hyacinth.
Lady Hyacinth did not reply.
And I contacted Cinder, right?
You contacted Cinder.
About something.
Well, you contacted pretty much everybody, to be like, for real, guys, do you know about Northought? I think
End
that
of
was
the world
the
bullshit
biggest...
is happening.
You guys
we're
were
stuck in a tub.
Northought's the tree. We're stuck in the
right
bathtub. Yeah.
We're stuck in a bathtub. Yeah, right. That's basically what you guys did. You sent these messages away. Some messages you got back, some actually didn't. But the messages you did get back were basically like, I'll look into that.
Yeah.
So you guys are alone to your own devices, and one of you, Oren, has sat down with Kresic, the gunner of the biting barge, an angel shark, Salation, who is sitting at this table across from you, tapping her finger as, oh god, what did I name this person? He's actually just named after the shark he's a type of. One second, I'm so sorry, guys. Wobblegong!
She? Isn't there a she?
No. Well, Cressus is. But she taps her finger and Wobblegong walks up and goes, all right then, fantastic. What can I get you for eating? She looks at you. Does not the man usually order?
We'll have your finest meal and beverage.
Right then. So you're going to eat again. Do you want what you had 5 minutes ago, or would you like something different?
Whatever is the best.
It's all pretty much fish, friend. I mean, there's good fish and there's bad fish. Would you like it cut up raw? Or would you like it cooked and marinated?
Well, what is the lady's preference?
Raw. She just does like a bitey thing with her mouth at you.
Raw it is.
So you guys are sitting at the table right next to her still. I'm pretty sure it's Grim and Mitnir, is that right? Or did Grim go up to talk? Somebody went with SETI, and I don't remember who it was, to go talk to the matron.
Ropsy went with SETI.
Bropsy.
I can't remember where I went.
So I'll say that Grim and Mitnir are sitting at the table directly next to them, and you hear like this whole just sitting right next to you.
Mitnir just kind of looks at Grim, finishes his drink, picks up whoever left theirs, and starts walking away just with a drink.
And as you start to clear out, she says, now that we have a bit more privacy, you said you would like to talk about a few things, yes?
Yes. Mainly working with, what was that stuff called?
Aquium.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, as you, I'm sure, know, Aquium is known for its adaptability. It can be used for many things. I use it for my purposes. And again, trade secret what those are.
If you ever find out, hopefully we will be on the same side.
Well, I have some ideas for things I would like to try to make, and I think Aquium would help very much with these items.
Are you looking to experiment or looking for a partnership for the development of new goods?
I would say along the lines more of a partnership.
I thought
Yes,
you
I am
might
not-
say that.
That familiar with the substance.
See, she sort of starts picking at her shark teeth, just like with her nails, just kind of like doing this like weird little attack, and you see she's actually sharpening her nail on her tooth. She's just like,
So, what would this partnership entail, Bright One?
Well, joint ownership of the blueprints of the items I would like to make, and you can make and sell them if you wish, or use them for your own gains.
As you well know, the goods that are here do not have much monetary value for me. Such things don't exist so much in this world, although I've heard tale on the outside. Currency is of a great importance to you.
Well,
Here, we trade in Aquam, and I would be providing most, if not all of it, I am sure. So, selling them has no value to me.
maybe not at the moment, but say we got everyone out of here.
her eyes narrow at you.
There are many who try. All the new arrivals try for a month or so. Some even try for years. But everyone gives up. No one
Well-
can face the island.
That's the thing about me and my friends. We tend to do the impossible quite often.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm really not good at persuasion.
Hmm. Well, that sucks for your negotiations.
8? I need SETI in here to persuade.
As much as I find your confidence intriguing. There you go, I brought it in. Fish that is raw, and I cooked some fish for you. Brayton, I don't know. I thought maybe you would like it grilled.
Sure, I'm sure it's fine.
Fantastic. Thank you, Abogong. Of course, Crazies. You have a good trip.
She just like looks at him narrowly. She's like,
Go away.
"All right." And he just looks at you, his eyes like darting back and forth between you, and he's got like a big old toothy grin, like
What did he
his
do?
little fleshy mustaches just hanging off.
Did he lace her food?
He just looks. He looks across at you. She looks back across at you and just says,
Well,
"We can discuss." And she pushes the plate just to the side. We can discuss.
business for sure, but I definitely think you're in out of your depth. No offense.
Well, perhaps you'd like to see the plans for one of the items before you decide.
We could do that.
And so we'll sort of coast away from this for a moment while you, if you have any plans you'd like to send to me, if you'd like to keep them private from the group, you can send it via DM, and I'll take a look
Yep.
at those.
We've
Um,
already talked about them before.
It's probably been like half a year, so
Maybe.
because of how little we play. Meanwhile, Bropsy and Seti, you find yourself sort of navigating the weird dockworks of the biting barge up to this top platform, which, for those of you who have it open, is this one right here, where you've been told the matron is housed. And as you approach, you find yourself sort of walking into like an almost open air market up top that has like just like random knickknacks and accoutrement. Like it almost looks like the the stock in trade here is the Little Mermaid's Cavern of Trinkets. As you make your way to the inside, it sort of opens out, and then you see that it sort of bends into this sort of triangular, or not triangle, like 3 building section, and the inside becomes like more depth and more structure, but the outside just sort of lets you in to like an open section. I don't know.
We approach the matron.
As you walk inside, there's just a bunch of like knickknacks everywhere. There doesn't appear to be like a desk or like it's not opened up like you would expect a normal shop to be or a residence to be. It's just like you walk through and there's shit everywhere. There's no obvious matron anywhere to be seen. You can see it goes back into more of a storehouse around the corner of the bed, but you can't even see the entire building.
Gotcha.
It's kind of built like, oh goodness. This one here is completely closed off. This is a tent, and then this opens up to just an open structure.
Just kind of peering around. Matron, are you in? Hello?
Make a perception check.
That, my friend, is a 29.
29. You see like hidden between 2 boxes, just sitting there, like gripping onto her legs, is a like a fish-faced sort of individual with sort of like scraggly, almost like tentacly, like seaweed-ish almost hair, just sort of like stint out in all directions, blue skin, like a really sharp nose. And you can see that she's sort of like sitting there, and she's just wearing like this sort of like ragged gown across her entire body, and her knees are like tucked up inside of this like ragged gown. And she's just like looks like she's like looking at you, and she's kind of like trying to like sneak or hide, but she's going,
Hello?
Oh, damn it! Oh, you got me.
and she like sort of like stands up, and you watch as she sort of like gets herself up. At first, she looks like she's gonna be really small, but then she keeps cracking her back up and up and up, and as her spine uncoils, she's much taller than you, and she starts moving her way around with long spindly fingers, and she starts like,
What can I do for you, dear?
and she starts like almost like skittering around the room.
Hi, my name's Siti, and this is my friend Propsy, and we're kind of new here, you see, not just to the barge, but to the entire cauldron, and we...
Oh, newcomers! Welcome to the Barging Barge.
Thank you.
It's been a while since I've seen a bird person. Are you one of those kinds that can speak, dear?
I can speak.
I'm sorry, dear. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Right then. Don't touch anything.
Of course, wouldn't presume. We just heard that you have like the best stories and the most knowledge about all the history.
Pichao. You're coming here to flatter me.
Well, we're coming here to learn actually. I'm a student and I really like to learn the history of places. And I heard you're the one to ask.
I'm obviously very knowledgeable. What is it you'd like to know, dear? Although if it's a secret, you might have to wet my whistle.
Well, you'll have to tell me if I'm asking about any secrets then, because I have no idea what's a secret and what's not. But I do love secrets.
It would not be a very good secret, dear, if you knew what it was.
Well, for starters, I'm just curious about life in the cauldron. Any information about how long this place has been around, or what life here is like? Or...
Oh, the cauldron's been around since the founding of Selindor itself. I myself was whipped here long ago, in the early days of Coral Reef City, when it was just being made a visitor from the outer realms. I thought it would be fun. to spend some time in Selindor. But no, they didn't know of the currents in that time. It was the early days. We were still exploring and understanding what this place was.
This was a very long time ago then.
Oh, yes. What do we call it? Not centuries. Bigger than centuries.
Millennia?
Millennia, yes, it was a few millennia ago.
Wow. That's amazing. So, from the
I
beginning,
know, I look so good for my age.
you look incredible. I'm a little bit shell-shocked now. Now I have a lot more questions than I thought I did.
Oh, goodness.
Like, what are your beauty secrets? But that's not what I came here.
Most of them include magic, dear. And some of them
Fair
include
enough.
some bargains over time.
Interesting. Well,
Oh, God.
all right. So Cauldron's been around since the founding of Selindor, many millennia ago, and people don't leave the Cauldron like ever, right? Maybe just a couple of times.
Oh, people have gone missing. I don't think anyone's ever left before.
Right.
I think some have just been swallowed.
Followed by monsters in the deep.
There are fewer monsters in this cauldron, dear. Travel to one of the others, and you might find more monsters you speak of.
Well, somebody said something about I don't remember because it was a while ago. Was there like a Leviathan or something?
Oh, there's a few little fish out there in the loch. Some people say it might just be driftwood, honestly.
More story than substance.
Oh, yes, everyone comes in here pretending they've got something special.
Everybody
It's
wants a demon
usually-
to slay. I know how it goes.
I think it's for tourism purposes, to be honest.
Well, so nobody ever really leaves. What about the people that come in? Do you know what is happening when those people come in? What pulls people in?
People are taken from many different places. As you know, Selindor takes from everywhere. Makes its construct is very multifaceted.
Right. Do you know much about the construct of Selindor?
Oh dear, you're trying to traipse into secrets.
Well, I already know a couple of secrets about the construct of Selindor. So
Ooh.
it might be fun to
Well,
compare
let's
notes.
try this. You say something, and I'll tell you if it's true, if it's not true, or if it's still a secret.
All right. I've got one word for you. Northot.
That's not a word, dear. It's a name.
Well, our name's not words.
And secret.
Yes. What might this secret cost me?
She looks you over. She looks Propsy over.
Ooh. That is my price.
And she points to the bead that is broken on your necklace of prayer beads, Propsy.
You mean the whole necklace, or
Just the one, dear. Certainly the rest are of more value. This one here is cracked, broken, useless.
Rapsy? Are you willing to part with the broken bead?
Sort of looms over you all spindly. Her like frizzy, like seaweed like green hair going off in all directions. Her eyes, by the way, like just golden with like almost like slit like pupils.
You gonna tell us all that you know about this?
Oh, well. I'll answer questions. If your questions pry to the truth, I will not keep it hidden. I will respond in kind, but I will not reveal all the truths I know just for one paltry trinket, dear. However, Based on what you ask, I will answer honestly.
I guess I hand over the beard.
As you detach it, hand it over, she goes,
Wonderful.
she slips it down and just like pulls open her like rucksack dress and just drops it in.
To the cleavage with you. Ask away, my dear.
Well, I was going to start with what do you know about Northot and the connection with Selindor?
Oh, well. Northot, the creature born of the dreamer. These are the secrets known in whisper for those that traveled here in the early days. In the beginning of Selindor, when the tree was small and young. Before it reached its gripping branches out into the vast abyss, reconnecting the plains as a tree that once existed. But this tree is foul, is it not?
Is it what?
Foul.
Alright, so Northot made Selindor, or was made into Selindor, to connect the planes. For what purpose?
The purpose? We never found out in my time, dear. It was more of an invitation that you couldn't refuse. Us of the important variety were brought here. Made into simplified forms.
Right.
I dear. Don't exactly hate what happened, but it was not exactly desired at the time.
Also,
It has become more interesting than my previous existence.
but it was not desired at the time. What do you mean by that? What specifically happened? That was not
That's a
desired?
question that you will have to ask the one that gives you that.
And as she gestures, you watch as the hilt of Dusk Shard appears and begins to like trickle down on your hip. Comes into form for a second and then disappears. As if she just traces it with her long spindly finger and it comes into existence for a moment.
Lady Hyacinth is involved in this, in the making of Selindor?
Is that the name she goes by now?
It is.
Oh, sorry, dear. I suppose I go by the matron. I can't be pretending to be other things. I like this form, though.
What name did she go by back then?
This secret you did not pay enough for, dear.
What if I give you a secret of my own?
If it is of enough value, perhaps. But there are certain archfey that would be quite cross upon their true names being revealed at this time. And even where I am, even where I'm trapped, it would not be a surprise for one to cause trouble for me still.
Well, I wouldn't want to bring you trouble.
You'd have to make it very worth my while, dear.
Well, I already asked you what you knew about the connection of the planes, if you knew what the purpose was. I think I know. So is that secret worth something to you?
Not particularly. What am I gonna do about it? I'm trapped in a fucking lock!
Well, I thought maybe the knowledge
I'm
would
around on a
be...
boat with a bunch of shark people.
Fair enough. Well, I'll have to think then about what might be worth your trouble for that secret, and maybe come back to it later, if that is
Yes,
not
of course.
of interest to you. In the meantime, Oh fuck, I just forgot. It was in my brain and then I forgot. What was my next question? Alright.
Well, yeah, while you're thinking about it, I'm going to take a peek.
And she's like sneaks over to the window. She says,
It looks like Cressis has taken another lover.
and so we're going to jump back down onto the deck.
Oh boy.
Yes. Right then, so this here is... How does this mechanism exactly work? The propulsion system, are we running on simple mechanics, or are we slipping our way into actual magic propulsion, which might be useful as well. Definitely more reliable in the long run. Where would you specifically even be needing the aquam? How would it come into use?
Well, that's the part I'm not sure about. That's more your department. How could Aquium benefit this device? Could it be used as a propulsion system?
Do have propulsion systems in place, forms of such. Again, those fall into my very personal purview. So giving up those secrets for the creation of device would be quite a challenge for me. As far as even trade, you would need to bring quite a bit to the table.
Well, I mean, I'm bringing the design and product. What more would you need from me?
She takes out what is on her hip, what is like tucked into her hip. She pulls it out, and as she does, you watch as she flicks it, like this piece of wood and metal, and she like flicks it open, and she takes a single bead and she drops it in and clicks it shut. She points to the right and she fires the gun, which we all know it is. And as it does, you see what looks like a small blue laser just fires off to the right of her. And as it does, it just like melts something in the distance. I don't even know what's there. Let's say like a mug on the bar just melts. And you hear he goes, "Hurry!"
Why are we doing this? These are my things. I have to prove a point. Sorry, Wabagang.
Sorry, old hag slipped in.
Sorry, Wabagang. Could you bring something as much value as this? My secrets are very valuable. I'd hate for it to be repurposed and find its way into somebody else's hands. Someone I don't call a friend.
Well, I can assure you anything we discuss or create is only between you and me.
I suppose. But again, what is in it for me? You say you can get us out of here. With your friends? With the virtues? Who exactly are you?
I don't know if the virtues will be helping or not, but me and my friends will find a way.
Would you be willing to put your soul on the line for that?
Pretty sure that's already spoken for.
Oh dear. Perhaps just your body then.
Sure.
Well then. We'll make the deal. We'll have the matron set a contract.
Alright.
And this other one here, what would be the purpose of adding Aquam to it? It looks simple, the mechanics that you brought. Well, not simple, but the need for it.
Well, I don't know if it needs any or not, but
It will definitely help with efficiency.
And she
It would
starts
enhance it.
sketching out what looks like a hydraulic system.
around the outer webbing. Definitely make the speed the opposite of retraction.
Deployment.
The deployment and the retraction would become much smoother with this system.
Yeah, I knew partnering with you would make this a good thing.
Of course. Well, we'll get straight to work as long as you've got the night ahead of us before we drop you off in the morning.
Yep, nothing but time in here, I'm told.
I guess till morning you're all mine. And she starts sharpening her nails on her teeth again. And we'll cut back away from that. And you see that she's just like, oh, he's gonna get gobbled up.
Is she the queen of the Twilight Court?
Are you making guesses out of your ass, dear, or do you actually know something?
I know a little.
No one can reveal anything about the Twilight Court without consequences. But I'll say this. You're a smart girl.
Right. Right. Well, moving on from territory that might get you in trouble. Has Northot, to your knowledge, or an avatar of his, appeared here in this plane? In the cauldron?
Just today, dear. Just today.
What happened?
Oh, he's about to get gobbled up.
Ah. Other than that one.
Not that I can recall. But oh, I can smell it on him. Oh, the complexity of the magic. Oh, God. Oh, it's delectable.
Yes. He's quite entertaining to have around.
Maybe an investigation check, Simner.
I knew that fracture would bite me in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
6.
I think I need to have a conversation with you. I just can't remember
Did
why.
not roll well at all.
Looking around you, Grim, as you're wandering about the biting barge while the rest of this is going on, you find yourself meeting a bunch of different individuals of different species, but most of them sea creature species. None of them seem to be from Terrans, as the sea folk call them. And although you find quite a few like odd looking Sahagins that have similarly sort of stretched out like wide features, you don't find any other Salations of that particular breed.
Okay. And he's just gonna look for somewhere he can sell his hammer.
Where you can do what?
Where he can sell his hammer, his dwarf hammer.
Oh, you're trying to find a place to sell it?
Otherwise, I'm just gonna lug it around.
Okay. As you ask around about that, people do point you toward the bosun. So he's on the top deck. He's still on the map, actually.
Is he the fat? Okay, he's the big guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll head my way.
Okay. So we'll return back to the conversation with the matron until you get there.
Do you know what role Agar has in all this? In the purpose of the cauldron, in the making of Selindor? What is...
I'm sorry, dear. I'm not really sure about any Agar. Never did one exist during my time. Perhaps it's a god of some kind.
I just
God,
kind of...
what was that god called? Sorry, go ahead.
Point out the window.
Yeah, to the figure we can see on the horizon. Whatever.
Hard to say, dear. Hard to say.
How about the first something to do with
All of this
water.
is probably some construct to try to get into water energy, diversifying his power portfolio or something. It's definitely a no-thought plot. All of these dungeon-like demi-planes that they've created within itself is a web of chaos. Yes, of course, it's something. I just don't know. In the eons since Aegon began worshipped as a god of the sea, it was before my time and not after my time as well that it was openly understood and worshipped here.
But what about
Back on the material planes, they called him Ithi something. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
some kind of water primordial? Maybe something like the first tier or the first.
Primordials are more concepts than beings, dear.
I see.
Well, if that's quite enough.
I
I don't particularly like talking for extended periods of time, and I feel I've given you enough information to match the price.
but I asked just,
Actually, I'll allow you one more, since you seem so eager.
just one. What where does Lord Iris figure into all this?
Lord Iris, I'm sorry again, the name does not ring a bell.
Insight check.
Okay, make an insight check.
19?
I mean, you've never read the face of a creature like this before, but she wears it pretty much on her sleeve, as far as you can tell, unless she's very good at lying.
Mhm.
She doesn't, that name does not ring a bell to her. As far as she,
All right. Thank you so much
Sorry,
for your
yeah.
time and the information. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you and hear your stories.
Oh dear, please stop by any time you'd like to make another deal.
Of course.
One of monetary gain or one of...
I think I have a
Well, I
sense
could
of
use
the.
some of your...
she just sort of gestures at your face.
I'd be more than happy to trade a little bit of your beauty for more information.
I will keep that in mind when more questions occur to me. Thank you.
Very well, dear. I'll give you a discount on knickknacks, too.
Duly noted.
After
Very
she says
well.
that, I just hear Cleary in the distance. No.
Oh yeah, was Cleary coming with us? Where's
Maybe
he at?
Cleary was coming.
It
I'm
might
gonna
have been
say that
Cleary who was
Cleary-
coming with me.
I'm gonna say that Cleary is currently hanging his head off the edge of the biting barge, just vomiting right
Sure.
now. And you pass him, Grim, as you make your way up to the bosun. As you approach, you find that there's a sort of like large workshop in this area that's sort of built around him, but he just looks way too huge to be doing anything. Currently, he just seems to be like shaving wood with his big, massive body. And when you walk up to this thing, it looks like he's a whale shark.
Okay.
So
I am
his-
gonna give like Cleary a big, unnecessarily strong clap on the back.
Oh dear.
Like, you're okay.
Oh, thank you very much, Grim.
And then I go
You
see
made
this
me
guy.
swallow some, but it's fine.
Oh, well, you know, recycling.
Your concern is very moving.
So the bosun guy, I'd be like, hey, do you want a hammer?
Hammer.
Yes, magic hammer. You'll throw it and it comes back.
Why would you throw a hammer?
I guess that you would do that if it comes back.
I could use a hammer. I have
But-
a hammer. And
but
he
it might
picks up
only
what is
work.
actually just a great hammer, like a war hammer, and he uses it as an actual like wood hammer, and he just takes a nail and like he's like whittling something that a nail has no right being, and he puts it and he just goes boom, and it just bends the nail straight in. Hammer makes things go in wood.
Oh, Yeah, it does that. But this, yeah, I'll show you. I'll pull it out. Like this, I had this very angry dwarf had this, and he was throwing it at my head, and they kept missing, but it kept coming back to. Yeah, you know, like normally they're not very big, but they're like very big beards, and they like to dig, and they live under rocks and stuff. I don't know what they do.
Moles?
Yeah, it's just like a mole, but like a human mole person.
Tasty?
I didn't taste him. I just killed him.
Oh. Probably tasty.
Well, anyway, this is a magic hammer.
Magic?
He picks it up and he looks at it, and you see he's got these goggles over his eyes, and you can see he's got these really squinty eyes. Goes,
This magic?
Yeah, I think it might only do very much.
It's shiny.
Yeah, it hurts your brain when it hits you too.
Ouch! I don't like to hurt brains.
Well, you don't have to do that.
Okay, thank you for the hammer.
No, I
sets it down on the side.
Oh, do you want to buy the hammer?
Buy the hammer?
Unless you have something else you can give Grim for a hammer.
What do you want?
I don't know. I just don't need a hammer.
I don't need the hammer. It's nice though.
If you don't want it, you can give it back.
he looks at his hammer, and then he looks at that hammer.
2 hammers.
Yes, you can hammer things twice as fast.
Twice.
He hammers.
I hope. Does
I
he
want
notice?
the hammer.
Does he notice that the hammer probably works a little bit better than his
It
normal?
breaks what he's working on.
I mean, if you
Wow.
want it, you can have it, but I would like something in return.
Okay.
You can choose. I don't care.
God, let me go get my random shit sheet now. I haven't used this in a while.
Smash project of wood, just like, here you go.
I don't need a hammer. What am I gonna do with it? Probably worth some amount of metal coins.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay.
New magic hammer, when you equip it, makes everything look like a nail.
I rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8.
Yep. So the 00 and then an 8.
He looks you over and he goes,
Beans?
Sure. I mean, are they? They can probably be planted, right? Maybe Grim can grow the beans. Did he say beans or beads?
beans?
Yeah, beans. I was like, okay. I mean, it's better than metal. At least it's a plant.
It's beans.
Yeah, it's only like a 20,000 gold hammer.
Grim has no concept of money. He doesn't have
Hmm.
any.
Beans are bigger than hammer, though. Or hammer's bigger than beans, no.
That's okay.
Those are some big beans.
Oh, I'll give you bag of beans.
20,000 beans.
Okay, I'll take a bag of beans.
And
Hold up, let me look at this item real quick. I think this is what I think it is. I don't remember how
Gonna
big it
get a
is.
bag of beans.
Oh, it's because I don't have D&D Beyond open. Like, where's my
Oh,
sheet?
no.
Sorry, guys. I didn't expect him to just try to make a deal with this guy just for like random shit.
Look, Grim is not very good at bartering. He doesn't know.
It's kind of beautiful. All right, so he offers you a bag of beans, which is an actual magical item. You can go look it up.
Oh no, he'll take it. Yeah. Is it just
Yeah,
called
so-
bag of beans?
It's just a bag of beans. It says 3d4, but so I'm gonna have you roll 3d4 plus 5, so he's going to pour some more in for you.
3d4 plus 5. 1, 2, 3. Roll. 6, so 11.
You have 11 beans in the bag.
11 beans.
And then...
Not the type of bean bag you can sit on.
No.
Oh, beans.
And he hands you a box. It's
Okay.
It's very nice woodwork. It looks like he's probably been working on it for a long time. It has lots of like intricate details and pieces and stuff. He says, "I made this. It was very hard.
It looks very nice. You did a good job.
You can have it because you have legs and no fins."
I don't know why than others, but okay.
Okay. So you
Well,
can
that's-
add
that's his
a
box.
box to your sheet until you mess around with it.
Box.
It is 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches deep, and it weighs about 4 pounds.
Okay. So, I mean, wait, how big is my bag of beans relative to my box?
Your box is much bigger than your bag of beans.
Okay, so I'll try to put my bag of beans in my box.
Your box doesn't open.
Oh, wait, that doesn't.
You
How
try
do
to
I
open
open
it,
the
and
box?
it's a magic word. But you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
say it unless you want the box to open.
Oh, but,
And it would be bad to do it here.
wait, why do I want the box to open?
Because it's a box.
No, I mean, what happened? Why wouldn't I want to do it here?
Because you'll break my stuff.
Why would this break your stuff? It's just a box.
It's a bigger box inside.
Oh, so when you open it, it becomes a bigger box?
No, that would be dumb.
Is it like folded up in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of weird, but you know, I guess that works.
It's my life's work.
It's very pretty. What's the magic word? Like, wait, can you write it down or something? I don't know.
Oh.
Spell it.
Usually when you say write it down, he just goes, oh. I'll whisper it real quiet to you.
Okay, we'll make sure the box doesn't hear.
He covers the side of the box with both of his massive, meaty hands. He goes, the magic word is... You can choose what the magic word is for your magical item.
Okay.
It is... You can ID it if you want to. Like, that's whatever you want to do. But he's just too dumb to, like, tell you what it is.
I'll
right
just take it to Cleary. He's over there throwing up.
away. Okay.
I'll
Just-
have him check both of the items.
Okay.
Okay, nice doing business with you. Enjoy your new hammer.
I will. As he laughs, everyone on the boat can hear it because his mouth opens up and it's like a 2 foot by 2 foot opening when he laughs. Like, it's enormous. He could swallow you whole.
Could fit a people in there.
I'm pretty
Mhm.
big.
Yeah. All right, so you've got your box and your bag of beans.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
And I'll ask
You know,
Cleary to
that
be like,
bag
hey,
of beans. That's
Yeah.
pretty
My favorite
ridiculous,
thing about
so-
this party is the person who comes into the most valuable items is Grim, and he has no concept of currency.
Yeah, it's great.
They're just little made of little rocks. You know?
So far, there could have been like 100,000 gold worth of stuff for Grim.
Well, at least one of them we still have, right? Minder's got the biting blade or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, he's got a sword
Just-
that's trying to eat him.
I traded a hammer for a bag and a box.
That's right.
It's
I don't need a hammer. I already have a stick.
I mean,
That's
the
true.
sword isn't a +3. So
But
Nope,
anyway,
it's close to. Anyways.
I'll take my box and my beans over to Clear and be like, hey, Clear, when you're done throwing up, if you want to check these out.
Actually, I think I'm done throwing up because there's nothing left to throw up.
Oh, good job. If you need more to throw up, there's a fish guy over there who's making
No,
good
God,
food.
don't say the word fish.
Sushi.
Oh, God.
I hear a voice
Did I
carried
just
on
hear-
the wind.
Did I just hear Mindy's like yell sushi? The hell is that?
A foul
Okay.
voice on the wind.
Right. So, what do you need, Grim?
I want you to tell me what they're doing. What is this box? Well, it's getting dark.
Oh, it's very nice. And he begins examining it.
Yeah, it was this. big...
It's magical, actually.
Yeah, he said it had I have to use a magic word for it, and the shark guy said not to open it here because it'll break his stuff. So I don't know what he said. He said there's a lot of work in it.
So he spends some time with it, and you see like he checks it out. I think he uses a pearl for identification. Sort of like holds a pearl up to his head, and he begins examining the box over and over. He goes, "Oh, wow, it's a boat.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a folding boat."
There you go. That's great. No wonder I did not open it on here, because like then you'd have a boat on a bigger boat, and that doesn't make any sense.
Yep. So it is a 10-foot long boat that is 4 feet wide and 2 feet deep.
Okay.
So that is a boat that is big enough to carry all of you.
Huzzah! I got us a boat, guys. Magic boat. And in honor of the person who gave it to me, we're going to make the magic word boat.
That's his title.
Oh. Don't know his
You call
name.
it Bosun, though. Yeah, you don't know his
We
name.
call it-
Call it Bosun.
He's the bosun, and then they say bosun.
Bosun.
But not right
Open
now.
up. Oh, okay. As
Look at that
Bosun, it opens up. Yeah.
Oh,
So
they said not to do that.
it's a very, very beautiful box, though, and you worked really, really hard on making it. So,
Perfect.
I hope that's not just voice activated. If someone yells bosun on the boat.
dude, that is so
Your
good.
backpack is just gonna explode.
It is absolutely just voice activated.
Oh, boy.
I don't think it has any. What's the thing? Like attunement or anything? No, it doesn't have any attunement. It's just you say the word and it just opens up.
That
Perfect.
should be interesting.
And this is just, you said it's just called
3
a folding-
command words. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
One of the command words causes the box to unfold into a boat 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep. The boat has 1 pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and a lateen sail. The boat can hold up to 4 medium creatures. Sorry, comfortably.
Comfortable.
Second command word unboxes it to a ship 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, 6 feet deep. Ship has a deck, rowing seats, 5 sets of oars, a steering oar, an anchor, a deck cabin, a mast, and a square sail.
Oh, dear.
Hold 15 medium creatures comfortably. The third command word folds it back up. So
Okay. All right. Well,
you've got a boat that could either be like a little schooner, like a little canoe, or a
a ship.
fucking boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sloop.
A sloop, yeah. So there you
Well,
go.
I'll have to think of actual words then if there's 3 words.
Okay. Yep. I'll let you choose the words because it's just more fun that way.
Yup.
All right. Is it worth a hammer? Who knows?
When you're
Sound-
stuck in a water world and you're not
Yeah.
a dwarf, I think,
It's not bad.
Plus, I got these beans that do random things.
You've got a bag of beans.
Got a bag of
Some
beans.
Interesting stuff in those beans.
Kind of like a jar of dirt.
Okay. So, with that, Mitnir, what are you up to this whole time?
He's been just like kind of walking the edge of the whole thing,
Mhm.
and just keeps looking in the water for the aquarium. Like he's just trying to figure out, but where is it?
Yeah, you just as you spend it in a intelligence check.
Is it everywhere?
It's everywhere.
Oh, it could have been decent. That's a 3.
It's a 3. Every time you see a bubble, you are certain that it's aquarium, and you keep reaching into the water to try to grab it, and it just turns into air, and you're like trying to figure out the science involved in these aquam pieces that keep disappearing
It's like,
when
I
they
don't
reach the
get it, and just like kind of like half stomps towards the next bubble. Like,
and it's just the Mako twins farting underwater. Okay. So did you just do that the whole time?
Yeah, that's all he's been doing. He's just been like, she said the aquarium's in the water. Like, where is it? Like, I can't figure out how to get it out of the water.
Okay, so as everybody else does what they're doing, Oren, you're going to spend the evening with Cressus working on these designs.
Mhm.
So, with that, to get the design properly made, I don't know how your ability works. But for you to begin making the process, I'm going to have you do a preliminary design thing. So I need you to go ahead and make me a... Is that just intelligence? Is that straight intelligence? What would it be? I don't have the skills listed in front of me. But basically, we're trying to get you to... Let's just do straight intelligence, I think. Unless you have like a drafting tool set or something. I don't know. And you're gonna do that with advantage because you have Cressus's help.
Okay, so what was it? Intelligence?
Yes.
Ooh, nice. It's 23.
23. Awesome. As you guys begin ironing out the details, you think you probably can make this pretty quick, but it'll take a few days still to get the... So she goes through it, you know, she doesn't tell you the secrets of how the Aquan will work. She just says, like, we can use it for this. And she actually has the idea for the second thing to add a propulsion system.
So with my ability, I'm able to make uncommon items with relative ease, basically.
Right.
Like
So
magical uncommon.
you can make magical uncommon. So you should be able to pull off the
Because
grappling
it just takes time and money.
Yeah, so you should be able to pull off the first one. The second one, adding the propulsion system that she wanted to add to it might be more difficult. That's just going to require a lot more fine tuning. So you think you could have the first one ready in probably about a day's work, like actual 24 hours work.
Mhm.
And the other one you think could take you about a week of actual work time to put together. So, but I'm going to say that go ahead and put yourself, just make a note for me that the number that you rolled on your designs. So she puts it together. She's just like,
This is actually quite intriguing. I'm very excited to work on this with you.
I think it'll turn out quite well.
Good. Celebratory fuck?
Pardon?
and we'll leave that up to you if that happens.
Hey, you don't look a gift shark in the mouth, okay?
But if you don't
See-
look, you might get bit.
Oren grew up in Temple, so he's not really familiar with these sort of things.
She absolutely takes you like to her private cabin to work on this. Like she's there, and it's like it looks like a banging hotel room. Like, you know, there's just like pillows everywhere, like lots of feathery things. It looks a lot nicer than her. You know that she pretty much gets up to one thing here.
Oren is like the epitome of good little innocent boy.
Okay.
So he will probably not really understand what she wants.
Do not worry, dear. I'll show you.
So I'm going to say you can decide if you try to stop it or not, but she is going to take you if you don't. So
Please, I have a thing to go do. It runs.
He'll probably try to like weasel out of it, but might not be able to.
This is gonna lose his virginity to a shark.
He's
I love
gonna
it.
come out of there in the morning just like awestruck and like, oh my god, what just happened to me?
I love it. Fantastic. Those are your official keywords. Write them down. Awesome.
Oh my god, what just happened to me? Is that...
Okay, so does anybody have anything else they want to do? Oren, you are done for the night.
Yeah, it is.
You're done for the night. We'll see how Oren looks and
Have a
feels in the
lot of
morning.
bite marks.
Guaranteed, he's gonna have some shark bites on his body. Gonna have like shark hickeys.
Good thing he can heal himself.
He's gonna have shark hickey scars on his body. Okay. So, Is there anything anybody else wants to be working on right now? Or are you guys just going to try to find a good, relaxing place to wait till morning?
I
as
think
they travel to the gap?
after my conversation with the Maven, I will go looking for Cleary.
Okay, you find Cleary. Yeah, with the amount of time that you spent there and he's been there, you should be able to find Cleary and Grim right as they're done talking about the box and everything.
Oh, hey, Cleary, what happened? I thought you were going with us.
Sorry, nature called.
Oh, you do look a little green.
I look green?
Do you need some healing?
Where did the yellow come from?
I got the
no,
box.
I'm quite fine. Thank you. I just decided I'm not going to eat until we are done here.
Well, we should be getting to the island tomorrow, so we can get off if you want and get on some dry land. I don't really know.
Whatever you think is right, I'm perfectly fine. I'm here to support the team.
Right. Well, I wondered. I don't know how much information I actually got out of there. That's why I guess maybe you could go back and talk to her and see if you could get more information. She likes to trade things.
No, you're great. I think you probably got it. I'm just gonna stay here.
Something about like Northwood, the child of the dreamer or something, and Selindor was made to connect the planes, which I think we know why at this point. And
fair enough.
Lady,
yes, I think
Lady
so.
Hyacinth is like the queen of the Twilight Court or something. That's
I'm sorry,
probably,
Queen of the Twilight Court?
Probably, yeah.
I find that highly doubtful.
Well,
The Queen of Air and Darkness has been lost for centuries. No one has even seen a physical form of the Queen of Air and Darkness.
well, so whoever gave me this shard, or whatever the shard is a piece of, was around at the creation of Selindor, and went by a different name than Lady Hyacinth. So either this is not one of her shards, she gave me a shard of somebody much bigger than her, or Lady Hyacinth is like an alias for perhaps the Queen of the Twilight Court.
This shard you speak of, I've seen it before, but we've never really taken any time to try to study it or
Would you
understand
like?
it.
I mean, I haven't had need of it in a little while, and I'll just take out my sword and be like, if you want to study it.
As you take it out and he looks it over, that is a very unique piece.
Yeah.
And he uses the pearl and spends 10 minutes just sort of identifying it. It is your fracture, but it is also an item, a sword, obviously lots of magic and power. Information about it, I don't have anything that I don't think you don't already know.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit the books, if I can. I brought some with me, but they're all very general knowledge.
Yeah. Would be nice time to have a library, but we'll have to.
But I do have a little bit of information I can look at about the Archfey. And I'll look into that, and I can study the rest of the night, let you know if I find anything by morning.
Great, no rush. Well, maybe, I don't know what that information what good it would do us at this particular impasse we're stuck in.
Well,
But what?
I can look into that, or I can start looking into other things, but I definitely want to make myself useful as much as possible, and if I can't do anything else of use, might as well.
Right.
It's important to you.
Well, it is important. I think we should know who we're working with, and whose fractures inside of me. And if you are looking into the Fae, keep an eye out for Lord Iris. Apparently not important enough for the matron to know about him, but
I've never heard of a Lord Iris before.
that's what the matron said too.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
I'm just curious if there's any relation with Lady Hyacinth, or if perhaps she knows that he's my father and was trying to play some kind of game. I don't know. So it would be nice if I knew what kind of rank or involvement he had.
I feel as though it's possible, and I've had this inkling for a while that a lot of the, especially powerful entities around Selindor, are using aliases.
Yes.
And so finding out who they are based on name alone is very difficult.
Right.
And also, no one visibly really clicks for any of these higher beings, but for the ones I've met, especially the headmaster, I'm sure he is some entity of great power.
Yes.
And yet his form is not that of power.
No.
So I think that there is...
We can't trust what we see, or the names we're given.
Exactly. I mean, when can you with Faye?
No, never. Ever.
Right. I mean, you, of course,
Well,
said
I'm only a little bit dishonest. Only half.
Right. Well, I...
Yeah.
And he just turns and starts dry heaving over the side of the boat.
Breakfast.
He's like, I'll look into it.
Kind of give him a little rub on the back.
No, I'm just kidding. So, is there anything anybody else would like to be doing?
Can't think of anything.
All I can picture in the little room I'm in is like Pepe Le Pew when he's going after the lady skunk, but opposite.
Yep. It's happening.
I mean, there's like, yeah.
I mean, it's up to you. If you want, you can try to help Cleary with his research.
Yeah,
or
I
something.
guess so. Like if he's looking into stuff.
If you want to do that, I'll give him advantage on his investigation.
Yeah, I'll just hang out with Cleary and research stuff.
I would say at that point, like, I guess I would just eventually wander around, find them, and then find like some hanging netting to just like treat kind of like a hammock and just grab a piece of driftwood. And just
If you look in the center of the map, there is actually a section that is got hammocks hanging over what is more or less catamaran netting. So you can just lay there. There's actually a lot of people that do lay on the netting that connects the different parts.
Yeah, I just once he found them was just kind of like, well, they're not. Cleary's not really going anywhere, so just kind of gets comfortable and finds.
Oh yeah, as you look out, you see like there's
whittling.
a couple other people that like make their way and like sit next to you and like, oh yeah, you're whittling, awesome man, cool. I'm gonna get blazed. You want to join me?
Kind of looks at him and is just like,
Do you spice, bro?
just doesn't even respond. Just like
It's the only thing you can go on the quixotic lock is fucking spice. I'm just kidding. No, but that does happen. Just that's not all they can grow. Okay. So you go ahead and whittle. Go ahead and make me a carpentry check if you have carpentry tools.
I do.
If you do, we're going to use Dex, and you're going to use a proficiency bonus if you're proficient with it.
I don't know if I'm. How do I check if I'm proficient with?
If it's in your
It'd be
list of
under your
tools, bottom left,
Bottom left.
armor, weapons,
Nope.
tools.
So just Dex.
So just Dex.
That's not terrible. 17.
17. What were you trying to make?
Just a fit, like kind of like a shark fish type looking thing. Just like we've been trying to just like kind of mindlessly carving out like a little shark type thing.
You carved like a pretty neat little shark. Like, you know, it doesn't like have like life to it. It doesn't look like this thing is like leaping out of the ocean or anything like that. But it's an anatomically well carved shark.
And then just
the person sitting next to you is like, man, that's awesome. Wow, you're really good at whatever you're doing.
just kind of finishes up and just tosses it to him.
Oh my god! Is this for me?
Sure.
Oh wow, man. I didn't get you anything. Here's some drugs. And so he hands you like a small little satchel of drugs.
Seti, what are these?
Yeah, you guys are like at the like probably like 10 feet away on the deck, just like going through some books that Cleary has, and he just holds up a bag, random shit.
I don't know. Do I know?
It's a little leather pouch.
It's a bag.
Minnie just kind of gets the face of like, why? Just kind of like looks in it and just doesn't like open it. Just kind of like looks in it and it's like, oh, and just like we'll find out later.
Yeah. I'm gonna go full clear up real quick because I don't remember what any of his stats are, and I might not have leveled him up in a while.
He's
Oh,
level
yeah.
one.
Seti gave him
What level are you
disadvantage 'cause
guys?
She's
9.
distracting him.
Oh yeah.
I'm helping.
No, okay, let me level him up real quick because he also needs to be 9. He's level 8 right now, so it's not like it's bad or anything. That was the 8th level, so he doesn't get anything new. He just gets some spell changes. Right? Right? How many
He's a
spells
wizard,
do you
right?
get?
I think at
Oh,
odd
but-
levels you get new spells.
He gets a
Zero.
new prepared spell.
He is a wizard too, though, right?
I think you can learn.
He's a wizard, yeah.
So
2
doesn't he
new
get
spells?
a level 5 spell now, or level 5 spells?
Nope, he doesn't have a level 5 spell yet.
Really? I thought
No.
they had that up.
0 to 4th is at level 9. I guess it's at 10th level he gets his.
Huh. I guess I'm just used to like other wizards were on and on. Anyway.
What was that then? What kind of damage is that? That's bludgeoning damage. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's got that level. And I gotta roll his HP, right?
He should have 5th level. Cinder has 5th level now.
I just put him on level 9.
Maybe it's just
wait.
because you hadn't specifically learned the level of spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go in and actually learn a spell.
Wait, do you do when you do the additional hit points, you just add it to the rolled HP total?
Yep.
Alright.
As part of the level up, you have to click the spells drop down.
Yeah, I'm in the spell book right now, and it says filter by spell level, and it only goes up to 4th.
There should be another section.
I'm gonna go look.
I'll look it up.
Spells.
So you got prepared spells, spell book, and add spells. You click on add spells,
Oh, yeah, he gets 5th level spells.
and I think you can learn 2 spells whenever you level up like that.
I like how the DM is leveling up right now. Just the best. I love it. There's so many spells!
Yep, there's a lot.
Now he's a wizard.
There's at least one.
There's a million spells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question
he's
though, while
gonna
you're
learn
doing that,
one.
what stuff can Aaron make? Like, can you make technically anything with degrees?
Anything my imagination can think of.
No, he's not gonna take that. He's gonna take.
And then we don't have anyone that can do enchanting because you had the shop guy do you paid for enchantment stuff.
Well, with my new ability, I can make magic items. Up
But
to uncommon quality.
But can you put like, I guess it's between you and Gagnor whether something is what degree of uncommon or
What spells
whatever.
are you taking?
Yeah, it's about like its potency, like how
Okay.
good it is, basically. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like typically, like an uncommon item would be like a +1 level of power.
Yeah. Or just like a wondrous item.
Like a wondrous item, yeah, that doesn't do anything like groundbreaking, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, Cleary's taken care of.
Oh, once I get higher level, that will improve.
Investigation. Da, 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 da. 17. So while you guys are doing that and you investigate, even with you helping as you go through it, there's lots of mentions of like the lore of the Twilight Court, but because of its nature, and how they don't get along, the Summer Court and the dealings and the connotations of evil, there's not a lot written about their hierarchy or the members of. There are tales of a shadow crystal princess or something to that effect. I had the information pulled up at one time, but I don't have it anymore. Hold up, I'll find it real quick. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh, there it is. There was someone called Nintra Sayota.
Nintra Sayota?
Mm-hmm. That stands out in relevance to the object that you have.
Right.
A particular archfey known as the Princess of Shadowglass.
Alright.
She is also referred to as the Queen of Chaos sometimes.
Chaos. Well, that means a lot, actually. If there's a fae that all fae are chaotic as fuck. So if there's one that's Queen of Chaos, then you know that's, I mean, they really mean chaos.
It's hard to say. That's all the information that you guys are able to glean.
Okay.
And honestly, like the relevance of it, it just mentions her in relation to a Queen of Chaos, or maybe she's called the Queen of Chaos, but she also had the title of the Princess of Shadowglass. There's so much like conflicting information.
But yeah, really vague.
But in Archfey lore and the knowledge that has been written down and he has access to, the name of the Archfey and a little bit of just like their title and a little bit of history of them being a part of the Twilight Court.
Mm-hmm.
And also I think dying was the thing.
Dying?
Yeah, it mentions their death as well.
Mention of death. Alright, so this person died or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume we don't find anything about Lord Iris.
No, nothing mentioning Lord Iris. He's like, if you knew anything else about her, about Lord Iris, I'm sure I could help you out.
I know what he sounds like. I mean, at least I know what my ears heard, but I didn't really get a good look at his face. And even if I did, his face is probably not even his face. And I don't know how he would have met my mother. We're very like isolationist people. I mean, we don't commune with other people from anywhere. I don't know. And boy, do I have a lot of questions for her. I wish I'd asked now. Anyway, but I do want to pay attention as we're reading, like just any like powerful male fae figures. I'm just going to kind of like take mental note of what they've been up to or what their story is. Just to kind of deepen my knowledge of the fae period.
Sorry, when I said dying, I was wrong. It was banished.
Banishment. All right.
Okay, go ahead. I'm done lore dumping myself.
Okay. Yeah, I just yeah. All right.
Well, if you find out any more information, let me know, and I'll hit the books again.
Right.
But there's lots of entities here that are in relation to Archfey, but them specifically, it's hard.
I do think it would be good for us to just know about all the Archfey in general, because they're probably running around Selindor, part of this scheme, but yeah. Don't really know how any of this is immediately useful to us. Just good to know in general.
I think so as well. Then,
Yeah, I guess I'll try to get some sleep because we got a big day tomorrow, probably. All the days are big now.
Oh, yes. It's been a while since we've had an actual break, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what that is like, really. Like, what do you do when you have a day that's not the end of the world?
Mostly I'm an RA.
Being an RA doesn't feel like the end of the world?
Compared to what we do, I've gotten very confident in my scholarly duties.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I would probably just, like, fuck off to the lake or the cliffs or something and, like, play some music, write some music, and,
Well,
but it feels like
this
it's
place
been...
is called the Quixotic Lock. It suggests peacefulness and rest and goodness. Perhaps it's not so bad here.
I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. Although the matron says there are no sea monsters, I don't quite believe her. But if she's right, then... Well, that could be nice. No sea monsters, at least.
It could be. Well,
Sweet dreams.
sweet those.
Okay, so with that awkward conversation out of the way, unless anybody else, anything else they'd like to do, Bropsy, is there anything you want to be doing during this time? Nikita has fallen asleep.
Just if Mitney overheard any of the end of the world stuff, would have been like, "We haven't been to the end of the world yet."
Not yet.
I have a story for that one, and we haven't seen that shit yet.
The horizon's all the way out there.
So, with that, then, I will say that everybody finds rest for the evening, or continues working on their projects, or gets fucked by a shark. And with that, we will be back in about 5 minutes, guys. Gonna go get ourselves some noms, I guess, and then we'll move on with our adventures in the Cauldron of Purity. Thank you so much, and we'll see you shortly. And we're back, guys. Back on the biting barge as the sun greets you in the morning. Some of you having slept well, some of you having not slept so well. But the morning greets you just the same. It's up to you what you would like to do now. You can see that the town, quote unquote, known as the Gap, is within fairly decent view at this point. You can see it's like a sort of cluster of buildings just built up on different pieces of dock, and most of the buildings seem to be made out of broken apart ships. There are actually sailing ships, like fully intact sailing ships, moving across the water as well. And others that appear to be crashed. But yeah, and it's about, you're still probably maybe like an hour out from it, but you're moving through the night has gotten you a lot closer.
Maybe like while we're having breakfast or something, like one of the NPCs that we have interacted with, that lives on the barge. I'm just gonna ask, like, how many other ships are there out in this in the water? Do we know?
Who are you asking?
Just like the guy that makes the food, or like
Wobblegum?
or one other, like.
Yeah, I mean Wobblegong's there. Like he's cooking and getting breakfast ready and stuff like that for those that want it. So you ask Wobblegong?
Sure.
This is getting your breakfast ready. It's like,
Oh, it's hard to say for sure, honestly. I mean, I've seen quite a few. But they are what they are, you know.
Do you ever
There
have...
probably like 4 or 5 that I've seen actually sail, some of which maybe didn't last so long on these waters. You know, there are things.
You have like relationships with any of these other ships?
No, the biting barge stands aside from the people of the Gap.
I see.
They sail mostly in the outer waters. They're too terrified to get too close to the island.
Why is that? Just...
Why is they don't want to go to the island?
Yeah.
Death, mostly. Mostly death.
Well,
Dismemberment as well.
I mean,
There's something
what
on the
happens? What's so
islands.
bad about the island that those happen?
It's not fun to talk about over breakfast.
Oh,
Make me a
but
persuasion check.
Mitnir just slides his breakfast plate out from in front of him so it's not over breakfast.
25.
Make it with advantage. Okay, 25 's fine.
There are. I hesitate to call them creatures on the island. I would say they are mostly abominations.
How so? What do they look like?
Several of them look like our brothers. Mostly. Partly. They are hostile amalgamations of the dead, I would say.
Huh.
It is a dangerous place to be, and with every one of us we lose, another is added to their forces.
I see.
Is that every death? They're just like violent death.
Well, we have never seen it happen, but once or twice in my lifetime, there have been individuals who have stirred up a desire to leave the lock, a desire to storm the island, unlock its secrets. And we've done a united front attempt to swarm. We've done missions where people have attempted to sneak in. It's a lot of them never heard from. Others we see walking the shore, void of intelligence.
So we don't know how this happens or why this happens.
Not entirely, no.
Any theories?
Necromancy?
Yes, but somebody would have to be doing the necromancy, or there'd have to be some kind of cursed location or artifact.
There is tale of a temple. We have seen it through the trees. None of us have ever made it there. But there is a temple. It is in the largest section of the crescent. And it is surrounded by swarms of these abominations.
Hmm. Sounds like another one of Northout's little dungeon. Me?
It does indeed. And as we all know, those are very deadly.
And generally, if he wants people...
I mean, who the fuck is Northot, is what he said.
Cleary could say that.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's probably for the best that everybody stays away then.
Mitnir just looks at you.
You hear like thundering footsteps and you hear,
We can stay away for a while, but we can't stay away forever.
and you look and you see like the sort of shark patterned flesh, big, bulky, not as big as Grinrose, but like similar sort of like regular shark like style, but big, bulky, very shark features. Barely recognizable as humanoid. About 1,500 pounds of just muscle.
What makes you say
And
that?
Because if we stay here forever and then everything up and out there happens. You know the Selindor won't last forever. The matrons told me. We know these places on borrowed time.
And you think going to the temple will extend that time or get you out before the
I
end
think it's
comes?
the way out. But there's no way I'm risking this whole ship. As first mate, and the only one here with any logic that's in command, I know that we can't risk these people. We can't risk our resources. But I'm more than happy,
And he sort of like leads down.
to send your lot.
Well, here's the thing. What if it is the way out and we get out? How would you ever know?
Well, I was hoping that maybe one of your people would be decent and would investigate, and before leaving would inform us.
Right.
Especially with your abilities to communicate long distance. He looks at you. Do you think we just let you on this barge and have not been watching you? Trust me, we know a lot more than you're saying, so...
Well, I try to be discreet. Alright, fair enough.
Counting on your fingers while you're sending messages is not very discreet.
Well, assuming I get through the temple with enough energy left to send any kind of message, I would of course do that. But it sounds like a death trap.
Oh, it is. It most certainly is. But if you, all of you, can find out anything,
We do need to
Believe
get out
me.
of here, unfortunately.
we will offer resources to make it happen. All right?
What if it's like the last place?
That is exactly my fear, Mitnir.
You wouldn't have to send a message.
No, because everybody would be shunted out into a very dangerous situation out in Selindor. I think if we go to this temple and we find whatever it is that's at the heart of this cauldron,
We smash it.
that the plane will simply cease to exist. And everybody here will find themselves tossed out into Selindor, probably in the water somewhere. And they will have to fend for themselves to get to safety. That is what I think will happen. So,
And do you have any reason or proof to think that this is going to be what happens? Anything that can convince me to try to make preparations in case that is the result.
we
But
have seen
Not
something.
that you'll believe.
We have seen something similar before. It's how we wound up here, actually. We were shunted out of another plane when it ceased to exist, and wound up at the cauldron. Well, at the gate to the cauldron.
Persuasion check.
That is a 26.
Wow.
So your people would need to make preparations for that.
Fair enough. I'll do what I can to make sure that if the event happens, we see anything strange. Hopefully he'll send us a heads up and we can prepare for it a little bit. But if you don't, that's fine as well.
Is there any way that we could possibly get word to the other ships out here so that those people would not be caught unawares as well?
That's entirely up to you.
You have nobody on board that can assist with the messaging?
Certainly the matron can try.
Right.
But she does what she wants. Sometimes she's on board, sometimes she's not. It's kind of one of those things, you know?
Yes. You might want a trade. We only have so much to offer her. Especially
Well-
if we are going to our death.
I'll talk to the captain about getting you some supplies if you actually want to go on board, but until then,
Duly noted.
you're free to disembark here at the Gap if you like. I'm not offering you much of anything,
How long?
except for my promise of support.
That is appreciated, actually. Whatever it may amount to. How long is the barge going to stay in the area? Is it just a quick drop-off?
We'll stay the day,
Alright.
and then past that, we'll probably leave.
Okay, a day to figure
We
out.
have a lot of mouths to feed, and they do enough fishing around here. There's nothing, save what's within the lock itself, for us to fend off of.
Fair enough. We will not keep you long then. But I would like to explore the gap a bit and talk to people before I make any kind of commitment.
Of course. And remember to take the virtues off ship. Make sure they know
Yes,
that they're not welcome.
they are well aware, and honestly,
Captain Gurnos has been grinding his teeth this entire time. And,
yeah. We appreciate the patience, but will not test it a moment longer than necessary.
thank you for that.
Is there anything else we should know about the island?
Other than the fact that not a single bit of it's safe, there's no living things there.
Just dead.
I don't know if you've noticed, but you haven't heard a single bird chirp.
Right. No wildlife at all. Just what's in the water.
None except for that is in the water, yeah.
No wonder there's nothing but fish to eat.
They don't propagate here either. It's just the ones that show up during the tides, which, by the way, we are scheduled for an event, I believe, before noon.
An event.
Yes, it's not one where we collect, which is why we are away. It is when our high tide, our low tide, their high tide begins.
What does that look like on this side?
Tears of Agar.
I don't know what that means.
You'll know when you see it.
Alright. Around noon?
We can have no way of being precise, but
Okay, fair enough.
my guess is it'll be before the sun reaches its peak.
He just points up at the what you assume is an artificial sun.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Well, we have some thinking to do. I'll let you know what
Right,
we
well,
decide.
if you have any questions,
Appreciate it.
let me know. My name is Liston.
Wisdom. Good to meet you. I'm Seti.
I probably won't remember.
That's fine. I'll see you around.
He just sort of lumbers off.
Well, everyone, Cleary, what do we all think about this temple?
You guys, while you guys are having this
undead?
conversation, you do see the other group, the Virtues, sort of taking to a few tables down.
I'll just
And they
kind
sort of,
keep an eye on them.
yeah, they're doing the same thing to you guys, where it's just like they're looking at you. They're not like there's no animosity. It's just like
Like
hey.
if I make contact, yeah,
I know it's
I'll
like
let
I
you
know it's like, oh hi guys, good morning. I hope everyone's doing well and stuff. You know, it's just really good to see you all.
So we make sure they get on to the town today. We poke around town. Then go explore the forest. Or whatever, the trees, whatever's out there.
Hugh actually looks at you guys and he's like,
Oh, I will see what he has to say.
"Are you all going, or is it just?"
Why not? Let's all go.
Yeah, so as you guys all make your way over, we kind of like pull two tables together, and he's like,
I think it's important that we all communicate with one another now. Obviously, we're in this more or less together. We've
Of course.
each had time with our respective groups to make plans and discuss things.
I'm not sure what your plan is, but we're going to be getting off at the gap. Obviously, the animosity from the captain of this ship and his behavior is untenable.
Of course. I
Also, I don't just like being here very much. There's no like class.
All right. Well, I think the gap is a good place to look for other options. There's a good chance we will not be returning to the barge ourselves. That said, the way out of here, if there even is one, seems to be paved with
The
a
temple
yes.
on the ship, right?
This is Phil. Or on the island, yeah, we've
Asked around a bit ourselves.
they've told us at least that much. Most of them told us because they thought it would be a good way to get us out of their hair.
Yeah, well,
So the danger is apparently very real.
yes, exactly. They do not expect anybody to survive, but they are more than happy for us to attempt it because they don't care if we die. So,
Well, we've decided, more or less, that we operate better in the water and you all operate better on land. So we'll be, if it's okay with you, searching the exterior of the island, marking its edges, the water, the bowl, I think they call it, most of them. And we'd like to investigate everything that's here and see if there's any way to communicate with Ager. So we're going to make an expedition to the closest point to the statue as well.
All right.
If that's suitable for you guys, we'd like to have some communication between us.
That would be great. Is there any way you have to do that?
Yes. Sorry about that, dear. Here it is. And you watch as Pat hands you a piece of aquam that has like been pressed into like a sort of flat, like skipping stone shape.
Huh.
But you can see that it's kind of like the sort of magical glyph sort of etched into it. Almost looks like a little glass disc with like lots of moving light inside of it. It's a sending stone.
Yeah. Saying that.
Please feel free to use this to communicate with us in case of emergency. I think they've got limited use. I don't know how much their use is.
One charge.
But anyways, you can look at it later.
Yeah.
Use that to communicate with us in any event, and we will do the same to you. These are connected.
Right. Thank you. That's very helpful. We will.
It is up to you if you want to disembark here, or if you want to take the barge of heathens over to the island across the way, or whatever suits your fancy. But
Well. Yeah. We'll have to discuss it amongst ourselves.
I am more than happy to get to land as soon as possible. But I understand if the rest of you feel the need to spread our resources. I'm certain there's more we can learn from the people on the binding barge as well. So,
yeah, it's honestly, I'm eager to get onto the island and get this whole thing over with, but I do want to make sure we're cautious about it and that everybody is prepared as best they can be for what might happen. And also, we need to talk about what it means if this place vanishes, or Northwood's plans.
Why would this place vanish? Because that's like that seems like a very extreme response to.
Well, okay, so
you
it's a possibility. We've seen it before. If we go to the temple and we find a way out, it's possible the plane will simply cease to exist and people will be just tossed back into Selindor somewhere. So you need to be prepared for that. Probably being in the water.
What was the dungeon called from the first one?
Trial of Elements.
Have you ever heard of the Trial of Elements?
One moment, I'm receiving a sending.
Gary,
Yeah,
thank you
receiving a
so
setting.
much for those gift subs. That's so sweet. We love you. It's good to see you.
Say Gary?
Take care of yourself. Yes. Gary's here. in
Oh,
chat.
Gary!
Just dropped 15 gift subs.
What?
Gary, that's extremely sweet.
Making it rain and shit.
Please take care of yourself.
I didn't even know there were 15 people to.
It just kind of pulls random.
Anyone who's ever watched.
hmm
Oh wow, that's cool.
Gary, we love you.
I'm assuming this whole time Orin has not shown up yet.
So.
He's probably
Probably
stuck
up.
as a little spoon right now.
So yeah, Mitnir's asking.
Oh
them if
yeah,
they've
Orin
heard-
hasn't shown up yet. Yes, it's
if,
beautiful.
if they've heard of the Trial of Elements or been to it.
I've heard about it before. Yes, but it's just something that the people in the Nexium do, right? To test people out.
It's gone.
Is that what all that noise was up there? Like we
Looks
felt
over
the
to-
vibrations here.
I think it might be why the tide changed when we were at the cauldron.
We should have been communicating a lot sooner.
Yes, well, when you don't know who to trust or what's going on.
Right, we don't know who to trust.
But
and
I think we should trust
frankly,
each other.
I'm not certain that we should believe your information just on word, but we can take that under advisement. Granted, we'll all be fine. underwater. If that's what's going to be ejected, it's a non-starter for us.
I just
Unless there's
wanted
a really big shark that eats half of you, then you might not be so good.
to make you aware of the possibility you could be separated.
Glares at Grim.
You might end up on land.
I don't know what will happen.
You might even end up in a volcano.
That seems highly unlikely.
It's happened.
When?
Just yells for Aaron.
Well,
You sense a disturbance in the force. No.
we have a lot to think about. We should be at the
Picture
gap.
Warren is just laying there, a little spoon. He hears his name. He's like, "Help!"
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say to these people. So I think just we'll
Right then.
just kind of wrap it up.
Well, let
This,
us know if you decide if you're going to stay on the barge or if you're going to be leaving onto the gap with us.
Yes, well, we're definitely going to go to the gap with you and ask around and see what's what. But maybe Cleary, do you want to be in charge of information gathering on the barge and see if there is anything else we can learn here? And the rest of
Maybe
us.
you'll get your sea legs. Gives him like a shake on his shoulder.
I know that you're just really good at. You're just very smart. Or do you want to take the group to the gap and I'll stay behind on the barge to gather information?
Oh, whatever works for you. I certainly wouldn't mind the gap over the barge. No offense to the barge, it's wonderful. Wobbegong's walking by. It's just a beautiful, beautiful barge. But I do not see my sea legs coming anytime soon.
Well, is there anything you would like me to specifically try to find out from the people on the barge?
Any information concerning the temple seems to be a major
Yeah.
But
Does anybody have any interesting trinkets on them? Maybe something broken, something that looks like it's not that useful, but actually could be in the right hands? Because if I go talk to the matron again, she's going to want something, and I really don't want to give her my youth.
Don't give her that! You only get that once!
I know, that's why I don't want to give it up.
Yes.
And then I would have to try to find somebody to give me their youth.
Next thing you know, you're going to be an old man like me.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll hand you the little bag of drugs.
I open it, look in.
Just a whole bunch of just hard meth compared to basically it's like hard meth. I mean, it's not because they don't have that in this world, but as far as this world goes, that's what basically you opened.
She might like that. I don't know. Perhaps pass the time.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, lots of drugs, Mitnya. Just big drugs.
But it's in such a small bag.
Well, you know what they
That's
say.
what we
that
call a big trip in a small package.
It's not the size that matters. Yeah, I really don't have anything to offer up.
Well, I suppose we could do that. We could do some excursions, find out what we know, and then meet back. Well, meet back.
At just at the docks where we dock.
Yes, we'll meet back at where they, however they dock. We'll meet there.
Yeah. Okay. Shortly after noon, I guess.
That works for us as well. We'll meet up with all of you.
All right.
And we'll just try not to get eaten by the terrifying shark people on this boat.
Sounds like a plan. And in the meantime, the rest of you, my group, I hate to keep beating this point because I feel like I'm the only one that keeps bringing it up, but I do want to stress the world-altering importance of what we do next. If this is what I think it is, if this is the last place we went, and to get out of here, we have to fundamentally change or destroy Agar.
But what? Aren't there like 3 of these? 2?
I mean, I don't know how it works, but if
That's
As far as I know, there are 3 cauldrons. That's information we've learned.
So though, what if it just does this cauldron when they got to do it all over again in another cauldron?
maybe, but okay,
then
so it's 3
these are
cauldrons.
living-
The third one, it comes down to the same choice. So
Maybe the temple just thinks you'll do another cauldron.
maybe, but eventually,
Almost.
It's possible.
whether it's today or next month, I think we might find ourselves confronting the same decision. And we need to be asking ourselves, are we the people for this? And is it even the right thing to do? Because Northot has made these places for his own purposes, and if we are just playing into his hands, we would be better off just staying here stuck in this plane forever. So that is something we need to think about. Much as we want to get out of here and get back to some semblance of a normal life, I don't think that is in the cards for us, even if we do get out, especially if we get out. Oh. Something to think about.
It's getting really awkward and quiet here. But yeah, I guess we'll think about that.
Well, I was talking to my group. Your group went over there.
Oh, I was eavesdropping.
I'm in.
You're talking to most of your group.
Yeah, where's Oren? I haven't
Actually,
seen him in like 24 hours.
I haven't seen him either. No idea.
Take
I
them
mean,
along.
I'm not staying here though.
What do you mean? If we all decide that it's not worth giving Northot what he wants and we decide not to go to the temple, are you going to go anyway?
I'd rather not, but can't kill Northot from in here.
Not sure we can kill him at all.
Well, he's right. They certainly can't do much in here. That's for sure.
And as much as I like the water, I'm not fishing. It's
I can't live off of fish forever. This is miserable. Don't eat
So-
meat.
I understand the concerns. I'm popping the cork if I get the chance.
I'm just afraid we're just making Northot more powerful.
Bigger fight.
End of the
That's a lot
world.
of confidence, Minya. But I do agree that we're no good to anyone in here.
Unless we are this stoppers, the cork on the bottle of annihilation.
If that's the case, I think we need to determine it.
I don't know how.
As you guys are finishing up this conversation, you see that you are coming up on the gap.
And we can't be the cork to annihilation. Orin's too pure for that to be part of that.
Meanwhile, Orin comes out from his cabin finally.
I was gonna say, Orin, where the fuck are you? Into my ring.
You've been let go. She's got her duties she's got to get to anyways.
Oh, thank God.
When he comes
I don't
back, I'll
even,
recap the entire conversation and
Yeah,
everything
as
we
she
learned.
walks out the door on you, because she just like gets up and says,
Well, I have to get back to work. It was fun. Perhaps we shall do it again sometime, or perhaps this will just be a fun memory for you.
and she's just sort of and just walks out the door.
In his head, he's like, I don't know about fond memory. I guess when he, exits the room or whatever, he's gonna look all disheveled and
Like somehow
Trying
his
to,
hair
like-
is just his like flowy up hair is like sideways.
Yeah. It's all like.
So Orin shows up and he just looks a mess.
What happened to you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you sleep with your head in the water?
Don't want to talk about it.
Right? Well, are you alright? I actually.
Physically, I am fine. Mentally, it's a whole different story.
You can see like a massive bruise on the side of his neck, like little teeth marks. But they're just, you can tell it's been healed with magic, but it's like just got like this big bruise on the side of his neck.
Well, I hate to potentially add to the mental whatever the fuck is going on, but I wanted to pick your brain because somebody said something that I can't quite remember. Seti remembers, but Sim does not. Because it was just last session, so it was not that long ago.
So it was like a month ago. So what's up?
Somebody said something about Orin. And I think they were just alluding to the fracture that we all know he has from Northot. But somebody said something about like his purpose or what he was made for or something. I don't remember who it was or what exactly they said.
I think that was Orin telling you
No.
what he discovered, that he was sent to fight Northot.
Yeah, I think somebody else said something else that like.
People mentioned that he was a tool of the Celestials.
Yeah, okay.
It was like my father's housekeeper person mentioned it.
Right, so yes, there was passing mention of your purpose, what you had been made for. And now you have this shard in you that is linked to Northot. And the matron here could see it. She knows you are, well, I would call it tainted by Northot, but she thinks you are an avatar of Northot.
Ah.
So,
I mean, that was an option at one point, but I refused it.
are we sure that we should maybe... Should we be trying to get this fragment out of you?
I don't know. Is that something we can do?
It can be done. I don't know that any of us could do it, but there are people in Selindor that could.
Well, something we can look into. I didn't choose this fracture. If you recall, it was forced upon me when I defeated one of his avatars.
Yes, so I wonder if perhaps he is spying through it. And this was after you went missing in the portal, right? When it was forced upon you?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so it's not how he's been tracking you. He was doing that before.
Yeah, he was doing that whenever we would use Selindor's travel mechanisms.
Yeah, before you had the fracture.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I don't think there is much that escapes his notice if he wants to notice it anyway, so I don't know how much difference it would make, but I do not like the thought of having some of his essence traveling with us to try to thwart him.
I have been doing quite a bit of studying in my downtime, but I haven't quite reached that level as an awakener.
I don't
I
really
am-
like having it in me either.
I'm confident that in a short amount of time, I think I will become powerful enough to awaken fractures within you, but to remove them, I need more time. So the best way that we'll be able to do that is to get back to Selindor proper, or find someone here with that level of ability, perhaps the matron. But I wouldn't know anything else beyond that.
I don't know if
I would be surprised if she couldn't do it, honestly, but I also don't know if I trust her.
Yeah, I would want someone I trust to do that.
The matron has been around since the making of Selindor.
Fair enough.
Whatever she is, it's old and ancient, and who knows what origin there
Maybe
might be.
the Grand Headmaster can do it.
I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he can.
I think
I thought we didn't
Idrisma
trust
will.
him either.
What was
The
that?
Drisma might be able to do
I think
it.
Idrisma can do it. I think that is something we have talked about before.
Trusting the headmaster, though, I thought we were.
I don't trust the
unclear.
headmaster, but he did help
He
us.
did,
So
he did protect Bropsy.
I just wish I knew what he was. What any of these people are. I'll tell them what I learned about the Fae last night too, and the whole conversation with the matron.
We
So,
could do that on land.
True. And you guys realize that the docking sequence has begun. They have come close enough to be near, and there are people tying off ropes. And you can see that there are humans, elves, a random assortment of many different races here that are helping tie all the other ends at the docks. As you arrive at the gap, you see a sea of faces you do not recognize. This town appears. I will pull up a map that I didn't make it, but it's my best representation of the gap that I could find. And drag you guys over. There you go. So you would be docked about here. Is where you would come in. The rest of this is the outlier.
I wonder if they all came in the same way we did.
That seems to be the notion. And if not taken that way, then they were born here. Or by some other means. Perhaps, who knows? Sure, we can ask around. Right, you wanted me to ask about on the barge. Were you going to stick around on the barge?
I will stay on the barge and see what I can learn about the temple, and you guys see what you can learn in the town. Not just about the temple, but about what people might know about the cauldron. And
You should probably keep somebody here with you in case things get rough for any reason.
I'll probably stick around. I got something I gotta work on today.
all right.
Thanks.
Which reminds me, I'm gonna need some gold from somebody.
How much?
About 400?
Oh,
And then we have clear here. It should be fine.
His bank is up top.
It is. I have a small sum of gold on me. I'm certain you're good for returning it. Correct? You're not asking for a donation, but a
alone?
loan.
If you want Grimm's little metal coins, you said 400?
Yeah.
You just start counting. 1, 2, 3.
How big is Grimm's like coin purse at this time?
How much money does
Not-
Grim have?
It's not very big. He's poor right now, so this brings him down to 500.
Giving him 400 gold brings you back down to 500 gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you
I
have a
was
really
at a-
big coin purse.
Yeah.
I was at a few thousand for a while. This is him spending. He spent all of his gold on
Potions. Haze potions. Well, they fucking saved your
They
life.
were very helpful.
Yeah. Those haze potions were disgustingly good.
Still have 2 left.
A thing I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna grab my robe of useful items and I'm gonna pull off the gem patch
Oh, okay.
because that spits out a bunch of gems worth some money. So
Yeah, do it.
See what I get out of that.
Is it automatically determined or is it a roll?
And how many
Looking it
days
up.
has it been since we opened the jar?
How many days has it been since you opened the jar? Oh
Ooh.
gosh.
So it's 10 gems
Wow.
worth
I-
100 gold pieces each.
10 gems worth 100 gold pieces each?
Yep.
Well, there you go. That's 1,000 gold. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for how long that's been.
'Cause I don't remember what we were doing when we did it.
Yeah, it can't be longer than
Let me
A few
check
weeks.
the jar real
I
quick.
think it was like before we went into the thing.
Yeah, we did it before we went into the
Trial of
previous
So it's been
dungeon.
like 2 days. No, I'm gonna
Well,
say
maybe longer with
it's
travel
been,
time.
It's been about a week. Yeah,
Okay.
since you've opened it. So you could open it now for a single roll, non-multiply.
Yeah. I was checking just in case we were really strapped for cash. You know, we're okay so far. Grim's still rich.
I mean, how many
Not-
days has it been since we went to the Trial of Elements?
Like I said, it's been about a week.
Oh,
I said
Week
2
since
days,
then?
but I
Yeah.
think it's been about a week. I mean, like, because you guys went there and then you sorted stuff out. You spent a couple days down there in the underwhelm, got everybody together, came back, then went in here, spent the night. So it's actually only been like maybe 5 days, but I'll give you a week on the time for it. Because the time you spent in the Trial of Elements was probably a few days when you count the time dilation.
So currently, we put 2,000 gold diamonds in it,
Yep.
and now we're at day 7.
Yep. So if you wanted to, you could open it and potentially get those back times 2 or 0. Could be empty. We all know Bromsey's probably got about 6,000 gold worth of diamonds on her.
It's true.
Or we can just wait.
No.
We'll just wait. I just was checking.
Anyways, so you guys find yourselves there. There's some small greetings between Grinrose, and he shakes hand with a dwarf that appears to be some sort of like dock, whatever you call them. Not dock master. It's not like a dock master. That's not right. That can't be right.
I
Not
mean-
quartermaster. Anyways, whatever. The guy who runs the docks.
When I see him, I'm going to shout to the bosun and be like, "Hey, bosun, this is a dwarf in case you wanted to see what one looks like."
Oh, that's it. So, as far as I can tell, Cleary, Grim, and Mitnir are going on shore, and maybe Seti, Propsy, and Orin are staying. Okay. So as you guys split the party yet again, what would you guys like to do? I know Orin's gonna go work on his stuff.
Yep.
So you're gonna get working on what you can. You're basically making a circuit board right now. So
Well, I'm just making the first item today, I think, right?
yes,
item, I
but
gotta find
that's the
stuff
one that's
for.
gonna take a lot of gold too, though. To put it together, because you're gonna.
I guess I just would want to like start with exploring town, like what's here, and then find out where like if there's a bridge towards the land, like mainland type stuff. 'Cause it all seems to just be a floating mass of stuff at the moment.
Grim will once again ask around if anybody knows of any hammerhead shark people.
Make an investigation check. Both of you.
At 10. Ooh, still lower than my passive.
You don't find any information about hammerhead shark folks.
In 18, I rolled double digits.
All right, what were you looking for again?
I was just kind of like, what's in the town, and then like, is there kind of like a bridge or something that goes to land?
If you look around on the map is pretty much just going to be the layout. There is
Mhm.
land on both sides of the gap.
But like,
So-
is it attached or is this?
It is
just kinda
attached.
like-
It is built
Okay.
off of the land on both corners, but they don't build onto the land really. There's like
Yeah.
1 or 2 buildings on the land, and that's it.
Yeah, is it like
like-
guarded or anything, or is it just?
No. I mean, well, oh, you mean like outwardly guarded?
Yes.
There's a gate on both sides, and so it's like a big. I would say it's probably 15 feet tall, like gate that is just planks of wood, masts of ship, like old ships that have been just like tied together.
I guess my goal for the day at that point then would be to try and learn anything I can about the undead, whatever they are, like the
Okay.
encounters they've had and stuff.
That's going to be another investigation check. And then Grim, if you can make me a perception check.
Okay. It's first. The perceived.
A 1.
thing.
Yeah, you don't.
Oh,
Nobody
I
wants to talk
rolled-
about it. You're a
I
stranger.
rolled. Because I rolled a 2.
A 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And so it's 11 total, but.
Yep. You spend some time walking around, but you don't see what I'm having you roll for.
I don't know when this passive perception is ever useful.
What's your passive perception?
19.
That is not quite high enough to notice this. If you had like a 20, then yes, I would have told you. It's like one short. So Clary is off investigating. I'm going to go ahead and make his investigation check. Okay. And that's what he's going to do for the day.
So passive investigation. I don't know if that would help any. Like if that would have got me anything.
You have passive investigation? What is your passive investigation?
Passive intelligence investigation's 10.
10?
Yeah.
You're not finding out any
12,
specific information. Yeah. Just looking around, speaking with people, you're strangers, and you get the vibe that these people are welcoming you. They're like, "Look, if you want a place to stay, we can help you out with that." But like we're not ready to talk about what's going on this island.
Being rude, I'm just very adamant about like, no, I'm gonna go out and kill those things. Like,
are you just like saying this at like the gate or something? Like talking to like the guard at the gate, or are you
just kind of just to like whoever
I'll
the
say,
guard.
I'll say you're like at the gate, and you're like, I'm just gonna go out and kill some folks. He's like, no.
Why not?
Because you'll die, friend, and then you'll come back, and then I'll have to deal with your zombie ass outside my gate.
Oh, a zombie in there. That sounds fun.
I will not be a zombie. We will kill zombies, and then there's none.
Look, if you want to prove yourself in a fight, I'm certain you can find a brawling pit around here, and then maybe somebody will trust you. You put together a little excursion force, and if you want to go get yourselves killed, by all fucking means. In the meantime, I'm not opening this gate for one person. It's just irresponsible.
How sturdy does the gate look?
It's made out of the masts of ships, so pretty flimsy for you.
I was gonna say, like, if I were to like shoulder, could I make it, shake?
You can definitely make it shake. You feel confident. You're Mitnir. You feel confident that you could tear this thing apart.
Oh yeah.
Whether you can or not, who knows?
Just kind of like, fine. Where's the closest tavern?
I mean, to be honest with you, you can basically walk into any building and it's a tavern. It's the one thing that we're good at here is making alcohol out of the shit we find. And
I'm gonna start walking past him into where like the guard shack is.
It's just the guard shack. He's like, "Hey, don't touch my rum, you fuck! I swear to God, if there's not a drop of rum left, I will hunt you down. I will feed you to the zombies you love so much."
That's how Mitnir's day is going.
Okay, it's great. What are you guys investigating on the ship? And also, go ahead and make me a roll for the first section of what you're working on. I'm saying that you're working on like an inner mechanism and you've been instructed to specifically from the converter. There's an Aquam converter, and you know what its specifications are going to be, and you're basically making the chamber for the conversion of energy.
Okay.
So,
what am I rolling?
Go ahead and make me like your tinkers. Do you have a tinkers?
Smith's tools.
Smith's tools. You need tinkerer's tools for this specifically. To do better, she actually has some available, but since you're not proficient, you're just going to go ahead and roll intelligence. But you have your hands. You've got tinkerer's tool. Your hands are tinkerer's tools.
Oh yeah, my ability thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
What does it have for that? I'll have to go look it up real quick. One second.
It doesn't really specify.
Oh, I didn't put the mechanics of it. That'll do. Well, basically, you're going to roll as if you've got tinkerer's tools. So go ahead and just give me. It is intelligence based.
Yep.
And you have proficiency.
Okay. So an intelligence roll plus proficiency. Is that what I'm doing?
That's correct.
Okay. Come on, baby. Oh, that's bad. It's a 12.
12. You start the process, but it is difficult. You first of all, as you set up and begin working on you begin to melt down the gold. That's the first thing. That's easy enough to do. And then you begin trying to go about making it into basically wire so that you can use it as a conductor. And as you start laying it into what you're using, it begins to spread out and it's uneven. And I'm going to say that you waste a little bit of gold. So your gold cost is going to go up. But you do successfully make what you're working on right now. So you need an additional 100 gold for completing the process. But you do successfully accomplish your goal. And that's going to be step 1. So go ahead and write success plus 1 gold, 100 gold, sorry, for your project. Okay. And we'll go ahead and say that that's what you're up to for now. Seti, we're going to say Bropsy is behind you, walking and just following you and aiding in your endeavors. What would you like to be doing?
I'm going to ask around the ship for just like, so what have you heard about the temple?
Make me an investigation check. Just because I don't want to have a million conversations with many people, this is very broad stroke.
22.
22. You begin asking around on the boat, and you eventually coax a few individuals to talk about some rumors about it. And you know that there is an individual who has been experimenting with the temple for a while. And that there is one individual, and nobody really knows anything about him except for that they have been in and out, off and on the island multiple times, and have been and come back to the gap. As far as you know, they exist somewhere within the gap.
Gotcha.
But that's all you really know.
After I've kind of exhausted all of my other options on the boat, I will go to the matron.
Okay.
And see if he can tell me anything beyond that for a price I'm willing to pay.
Okay. What are you offering, and what is your question?
Well, what could you tell me about the temple on the island? Specifically, my friend gave me this bag of drugs.
A bag of drugs. Let me see.
She hands out this long, spindly finger.
I also have some love potions if you want those for any reason.
Ooh, love potions. The ingredients for which are very difficult to find here.
Really?
Oh, yes. I would be much interested in that. Oh, the fun I could have.
Indeed. All right. Well, if you can tell me something about the temple that I don't already know, then you can have love potion.
I can tell you something about the temple. There's more than one.
On the island? More than one temple?
No, there's one in each of the 3 locks.
One in each of the... Okay. In each of the...
Not 3 locks. Three of the 3 cauldrons.
Right. Well, we kind of figured that.
Each one tied somehow to whatever this deity is, or perhaps to Northart's controls. I've traveled to the other cauldrons myself. Which is easy enough to do without leaving, by the way.
So, wait, how do you travel the other cauldrons?
There are means of transportation between the 2 locations. In fact, I believe that there is currently someone here who recently arrived. And you see she's peering from her. She's like at the top of the bar. She's like looking out over the town. She says, "Ah, yes. See there? Means." And you see, make a perception check for me, actually. See if you can make out.
She'd be looking at. Wow, that was 2 natural ones
Yeah, wow.
for a total of 12.
You see some boats on the water in the distance.
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
Well, speak to some of the people on the dock. I'm sure you'll find transportation, should you need it.
Right. So, can you... What
That's for the drugs. Now for the love potions.
what can you tell me about the other cauldrons?
There are 2 other cauldrons to deal with.
Oh my god, I'm on the wrong notes page.
The Cauldron of Life, which I'm sure you've heard much about. A sea of monsters is really what it is.
You saw Lunchbox with the reroll.
Oh, Lunchbox gives a reroll.
Lunch! Saving the day!
Reroll.
Let's
do it.
Do I still get advantage for my reroll? Because it's a roll.
Yeah, it's a new roll and you got advantage.
A natural 1, but also a 19 for a 30.
Oh my gosh. 3 natural ones for this
3
19.
natural ones!
Jesus.
Thank you so much, Lunch.
Saving the day. Looking out across the water, you see a familiar ship. It's strange seeing it on the water, but this airship that you were once sailing on when it disappeared over the Trial of Elements, you currently see docked on the Gap. The familiar, almost blimp-like, top coat has been popped and down, but you recognize the ship itself, and it is currently having masts constructed on it.
All right. Cool.
I was
Good
gonna
to
say,
know.
like, if we got back together today and we're gonna do messages again, I was like, can you try the ship captain?
The ship captain?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that.
Well, now you know where the ship captain was. The ship captain you actually did communicate with at one point, and they said, we're kind of busy at the moment.
Well, now we know. All right. Okay, so Cauldron of Life is a sea of monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Does it also have an island like this, where the temple stands, or
Not as much. It's more of an under the water kind
Aquatic
of
situation.
the submerging monster depths. Much death probably for you, but please try.
right?
And the last is the Cauldron of Judgment.
And what is that one like?
Icy, cold. From the frigid depths, I believe, is where the cauldron lies on the exterior for Selindor. The pathway to this place is filled with several seafaring pirates. I believe it's where Greenrose originally arrived.
Greenrose? Oh.
Yes,
Right.
he originally arrived in the Cauldron of Judgment, but made his way here to a safer haven.
And is it just the pirates that make it so dangerous?
It is among them, yes. But the frigid seas themselves have many dangers. And the temple, I hear, is quite a dangerous place to be.
You know where it is?
I believe that it's probably best if you start with those, honestly. The one here is deadly as hell.
Yes, I know it's a bit presumptuous of me to be asking about plans for after I get through this temple, because we might all die, but better safe than sorry.
Well, you know, it's probably certain death. From what I've seen for your abilities, your power, it is a one-way ticket straight to death. And I've come to like you slightly, so I'll say it's probably best if you find a home here. A place where you can settle down, you know, just raise some kiddos or something, you know?
Well, it is an option. We haven't quite decided what we're going to do. That's why we're gathering
In fact, you can even keep
information.
one of those love potions, try to make yourself a little something something.
Oh, I would not need it, thank you.
Fair enough, dear.
Humble brag.
Humble brag.
I'm a bard.
I'm gorgeous.
I mean, have you seen those persuasion rolls?
I mean,
I rolled a 6. That's a 22.
I mean, it's
have my
generous.
babies.
Alright.
Cleary chirps up. Huh? What's that?
I felt a disturbance.
All right. So last cauldron, many dangers besides from pirates. Won't say where the temple is.
Oh no, I'm saying that like this one here, dangerous.
Right. Is there anything specific you can tell me about the danger?
Well, although the temple I believe we've had is inaccessible, the number of creatures that, well, ostensibly very intriguing creatures. I believe I've heard that there is a monster on that ship that has shark heads for hands. Or not ship, island, sorry. That has shark heads for hands. Oh, what an intriguing concept. But, dangerous, if I might say. Getting punched in the face is one thing. Getting sharked in the face is, well...
Yeah, I would not like to be punched by that monster, to be honest. Duly noted.
I feel like Oren got sharked in the face last night.
He got sharked in the face over and over again last night.
All right. I'm racking my brain for any other questions I should ask about this.
You do realize Oren is scarred for life now, right?
Yeah.
He's going to think being intimate like that's how it's going to be with anyone.
Oh, it was
scared shitless.
Just wait till we end up in like a brothel or something. We'll
it was not gentle.
Really, people willingly do this?
Why do you think I'm asexual?
All right. If there's any more questions you have? You've got one love potion worth of questions left.
Yeah, I should use it.
Or you could save that love potion for a rainy day.
Actually, I'm curious. Because she was saying like, "Oh, settle down here. You know, have some babies, whatever." Can I try to read like her motive for that? Like, was she being genuinely
Make an
like,
insight check.
You're gonna die, or is it like, I don't want them fucking with plants? It's only a 13.
He's really hard to read. She seems like she genuinely wants you to have babies. It's kind of weird how much she's just like wants you to be happy, I guess. I don't know.
Can I use my some of my questions to just ask about you? I'd love to know more about, a being such as yourself.
Dear.
What sort of things do you like? What do you pass?
Flattering me.
What do you pass the time with? I mean, all these millennia. Surely, what do you do? What do you want out of life?
Oh, well, I like collecting things, little knickknacks, having fun. I like drinking mimosas on the beach, long walks. I like a good book. No one's written a good book here in some time. The ones we have access to, I've read them all several times over, but I have a collection of Jane Eyre. No, I'm just kidding. No, I like a good book. I like a good romping fun time at a bar.
Oh,
Nikita's finally poofed, and so we're broken.
I don't know if I can do anything about that. Can somebody? I was gonna say somebody could share a screen, but I don't know where it would pop up.
I mean, we're almost done. It's fine.
Oh yeah, we'll just go pop to a different.
I don't have a
thing.
different. This is all we got.
Oh no!
It's okay. It's fine.
I can kind of get my face back in. Everybody sit up.
Hey guys, we get really, really broken when one person leaves. It's just over.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, this is professional.
Yeah. Hey, we can't plan for everything sometimes.
We're all just eyes now. We're all just eyes.
Yeah.
We're all just eyes. Yeah. So she's just like, yeah, I like having a good time.
Perhaps he's perfect though.
I want to try to get out of her what her hopes and dreams are. Like what are her plans for the future? Like what schemes is she keeping? Without saying the word scheme.
Without saying the word scheme. Pick a different word. If you can think of a different word to say that means scheme without saying scheme, I'll answer your question.
Aspirations.
Yeah, like
what are your
aspirations? What
are your aspirations?
My aspirations. I think I would enjoy
I know
finding
was
me a
Gagnor's
mister.
Yes, because it kind of just slouched down. Beelin's wearing your beard right now. There you go. Okay, sorry. Serious roleplay is happening.
Wait, that can't be it. Where's
He
it
was
at?
wearing my beard, and I was wearing his.
He was answering my question.
I'm gonna make it happen. Yes.
Ooh, something shiny.
Something shiny. She was answering your question.
Yes, I would like to find me a mister, I think. I think it would be
Okay.
nice to settle down, have a couple of kids. You know, the good old thing.
What do you look for in a
use these-
man?
Oh, big penis.
Of course, that's a given.
I'm a tall lady. I need a whole lot of girth and length.
All right. That was a bit more information than I needed about your anatomy.
Well, that'll handle your last love potion. Great doing business with you, dear.
Enjoy those.
Of course. I'll use it to find me a mister with a big dick.
Good luck.
Of course, dear.
Maybe
And good
visit
luck to
the
you.
whale shark.
Is there anything that you're in desire of within my wares?
She gestures with her like big, long, spindly arms around the room. Just a whole bunch of trash
Is-
everywhere.
Is there anything
It looks like an episode of Hoarders, but like
aquatic
D&D
edition?
world. Yeah, well, it's not just aquatic things. Like you're seeing
Yeah.
things there, like climbing materials. You see like little jade sculptures, like all kinds of just random accoutrement.
I don't know, like what would catch my eye?
Make me a perception check.
That's a natural 20 for a 31.
That's a natural 20 for a 31. Oh boy. Well,
Gagnor has to
Gonna
come up
find
with
the
something
the one good thing in the shop.
go ahead and roll a d100.
good. Ooh.
My gosh, this light has blinded me. I need to turn it away.
A 3. I rolled a 3.
What is with you guys rolling
fucking
so low?
3.
With a fucking 3.
Another bag of beans.
Another bag of
I get my
I'm gonna
bag of
start-
drugs back.
You see like a nice little fan, like one of those little hand fans.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's really
It's
nice
just
looking.
kind of hot under the sun.
Yeah, so she's got one of those little fans. She's like,
Oh, yes, it's a very interesting piece. I like it. I think it's got quite the artistic sense to it, if you will.
Where did it come from?
Oh, one of those that crashed ashore. They sold it to me for a pittance of fish and potions I had left over.
Can I have it?
Have it, my dear. I don't think you know me very well, even though I'm doing all of this communication for so much time.
What do you want?
No. Well, this beautiful, beautiful piece, Oriental fan, quite nice. Let's say 1 year.
1 year of my life.
Yeah, just one.
Wish Cleary were here. He could tell me if this fan was worth it. Well, he would say no. How long am I going to live anyway? I've never quite understood because I grew up with elves and they live forever, and I knew I was half
Well,
elf, but I didn't know what
The
the
way
other half
that it
was.
works for me is I will simply take enough life energy for you to age a year.
I'm trying to. Can I try to make like an Arcana check or something on this fan to see if it does anything cool?
"Yeah, make an Arcana check."
Ooh, 19.
You pick it up and you open it and close it and sort of like fan yourself a little bit. It seems to generate more air than you would normally expect for something like this. And on closer investigation, there are small runes etched into the wood around the edges of the fan. It appears to be magical.
Yeah. A good gust. No, at this point in time, I'm young. I don't think a year of my life is worth this fan. But when I'm a bit older and the years mean a little bit less to me, I will maybe come back.
Very well. Ta-ta!
Enjoy your potions!
Oh, I will. I'm going to have quite a fun time. Yes.
And you watch as she just like pulls her like potato sack dress over her knees, squats down, and starts just walking on just her toes, like disappears into the corner.
Should probably warn somebody about that. The matron's got love potions!
Our second night on the barge.
Oh God, Orin, no.
definitely gonna tell my party, don't drink anything. Just don't, no more food on the barge.
Guys,
no more, just
Nobody
no.
tell a soul if you have a big penis. Keep that to yourself while we're in the quixotic lock.
Just checking all the men I pass. Oh no, you're good. You're fine.
Like you can just see from you just walk up, grab them. Yeah.
No, you're safe.
You're good, buddy. You're fine.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's escape this Cowboy Bebop opening sequence hell we've been trapped in.
Also, let's let people not have to look at our chins and the tops of our heads, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I know I don't have a cliffhanger set up. Actually, you know what? There was one more thing I had to do. Speaking of cliffhanger. As you guys are having this conversation, suddenly you feel a bit of a chill. All at once, just a gusted chill sort of blows past you and over you, enveloping you in this sort of sense of sadness that you get when it rains. And you see as people around you start looking up and turn around. And you feel a sense of vertigo for a moment as you watch the statue that's holding the cauldron of purity in its hands begins dipping further and further over, looming over the center of this bowl, the face becoming larger and larger, eclipsing everything else. It looks down and you watch as its eyes begin to slowly open, light pouring out, pure, crystalline blue. And as it does, you watch as it begins to rain. From its eyes, you see small beads of water coming as a shower. And as these hit the rocks and hit the water itself, you watch as they don't go in, they bounce. And begin spinning and moving quickly towards the center of the lock, which begins to create a whirlwind. Well, whirlpool, that thing. And you hear everyone say, "Batten down for low tide." And you watch as Aegir weeps. Aquam is made. And we'll end our session there. Much better than measuring people's dicks.
A little bit, yeah.
So now you guys know where Aquam comes from.
Yeah, crying statue. God thing.
So when we blow this place up, no more aqua.
All right, guys.
Or-
Those two things aren't related, you know, the aquam and the statue and the big dicks.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't mix with the weather.
He's crying because he can't find a big dick. Oh no. All right. I'm going to take the stream down.
Oh.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for hanging out.
Blue.
We love all of you. Gary, thank you for those subs. That was so incredibly sweet. Thunder, Beelan, thank you guys for the resubs.
Big
We hope
heart.
everybody's doing well. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.